Welcome back, guys, and thanks for taking a little time to spend a little time with me. And hey, man, it was a good ride, but the season has come to an end. It has come to an end, guys. Like I said earlier in the week, it was going to be tough to go into Denver and win that game. And I'm going to be honest, the game was closer than I could have ever had expected. I did not expect the game that I saw. And this Pittsburgh Steelers actually showed me something. This roster, this unit showed me something in that game. They showed me that they have the ability to bear down and fight and, just show resiliency and all of that, with guys being out. And like I said, the defensive secondary not being that great, being somewhat of a young unit, a new defensive coordinator. And we all know the problems that they had this year, ranked 31st during the season in the past. And I think we moved up to 30th in the playoffs. But they've shown spots. They've shown signs of where they could be a fairly decent defense. So after this game, man, they lost the game, yes. Like I said, I was expecting a tough game. I was expecting it to be tough going into Denver and knocking them off. I knew it was going to be a tough thing, man. Already with the banged up Ben Roethlisberger, and even though Ben came out and it didn't look like there was any effect of his shoulder. No Antonio Brown, no D'Angelo Williams, and the list goes on and on. If you want to go all the way back earlier in the season, no Le'Veon Bell. You know what I mean? And we almost had it. They almost had it, man. I mean, it comes down to Fitzgerald Toussaint, who does a great job last week. And it just comes down to a play where he fumbles the ball, man, and that really turned the tide. That turned the tide of the game. I mean, at that point, it's 13-12. Roethlisberger had that offense clicking. We were moving downfield. You would expect we were more likely get possibly a field goal, but the way that drive was going, a lot of people were saying, hey, they were on the move. They may have gotten into the end zone. You get into the end zone at that point, kick the extra point. It's an 8-point game. Who knows what would have happened? Who knows what would have happened? But shout outs to Denver. I give them credit. Great play by Roby. And, Ware covers the ball, recovers the ball or what have you. And there you have it. That's really how the game went. But like I said, man, just to give my reactions on the overall game, a couple things that I wanted to point out. It's funny, right? When I did my preview using Madden, Martavis Bryant drops a slant. What does he do in that game? Drops a slant. It was crazy. There were a lot of drops in the game, whether it be for the Steelers or the Denver Broncos, because our defense did a fairly good job, but there were some opportunities for Denver. They dropped the ball. Guys were open. They dropped the ball. So you can say what you want. Some people are saying, oh, if they wouldn't have dropped this, if this guy wouldn't have dropped that, but there were drops on both sides of the ball, both teams. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you going to say? It is what it is. It happens. But like I said, man, just speaking from the Steelers standpoint, there were a couple of drops. That Martavis Bryant drop was huge. The Heath Miller drop was kind of huge. He is going down to the ground, but we've seen Heath Miller make that catch before. And like I said, a guy like Heath, he's proven, he's proven himself, what he does, what he means to the Steelers offense. Everybody's going to drop a pass from time to time. I'm not really going to hold that against him, but it was at a point that could have definitely helped out what we were wanting to do on that particular drive, as well as Marcus Wheaton. He drops the catch in the end zone. It was a great play by Aqib Talib. Can't take anything away from that because he kind of got his hand on the ball as well. But again, some of those more elite receivers comes up with that catch. You think about a guy like Dez Bryant or even a Larry Fitzgerald, a guy like that, that's going to go get the ball. They're going to reach and get the ball instead of allowing the ball to come to them and then try to catch it. Just little technique things. But like I said, I'm not going to hold that much against him as far as dropping that. It was a great defensive play, but like I said, guys, we've seen receivers make that kind of catch, get the ball, grab the ball, and pull it in. So a lot of things like that, man, could have swung the game in a different direction, but I am very encouraged what I saw from that defense. I'm interested to see what's going to happen here in the offseason, how they're going to address certain areas. Well, the main area, the secondary. Let's not forget, we do got Sinquez Golson. That got hurt early in the year in training camp. He might be another guy for us. And I'll talk a little bit more about that on Terrible Towel Tuesday. That will be the last one of the year, obviously, since the season is over. but we'll get more into that, come Terrible Towel Tuesday on Tuesday. But just wanted to do a quick reaction, man. I think the Steelers played way better than I thought they would play. Phenomenal effort. But you got to give hats off to Peyton Manning and his guys. Peyton Manning made some plays when he had to, some nice throws. We were able to shut down the run, but when they needed to, they pop off a big run. Things like that. This was one of those games, a give and take game. One play here, one play there. And I said it, as I was sitting there watching the game with others, I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, the way this game is going, it's going to take one big play by either the Steelers defense or the Steelers offense or the Broncos defense or the Broncos offense. What ended up happening? A fumble that turned the tide of the game. Broncos had momentum. They drove down the field. They get into the end zone. There you have it. Great game though, man. I mean, to be that close, it's almost like I would have felt better if what I was predicting would have really worked out that way. I was thinking that we're going to go in there, it's going to be tough, we're going to struggle, and they would have just going to, basically just outright beat us because we weren't going to be 100% on offense, as well as our defense has been suspect at times as far as the secondary. So I thought it was going to be a game where they're probably going to beat us by 14, maybe by 21. If we struggled early, if Ben's arm didn't hold up, if Landry Jones would have had to come in. This is what I was expecting. But to see that it didn't play out like that, and that we were only down, at 1.60, then we go up, then we get a field goal, and it's like we basically maintain the lead the rest of the game. I was looking at it like, we could actually win this game. So that makes it sting a little more, understanding that, yes, we probably were not going to win this game, but seeing that we actually had a real opportunity to win hurts a little more. But like I said, it is what it is, man. I didn't expect this. I didn't even expect them to get this far. And hey, a lot of promise, man. You could definitely be encouraged going into next season, just seeing what we do have, what we're going to gain back on offense. And I'm pretty sure there'll be some more additions and adjustments and things like that on defense. So it was a great game, man. It was a great game. It's good to see Peyton Manning, basically have a last shot at it, so to speak. Everyone's thinking he's probably going to retire. So it's good to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing him get into the actual Super Bowl. Actually, I would prefer that. I would prefer to see, some different teams. Even though we did see Denver a couple years ago, I'm just tired of seeing New England. I'm not hating on them. They're a good ball team, but I'm just tired of seeing that. I would love to see, I would prefer Denver and then let it be Carolina or the Cardinals, and just something different. And instead of the Patriots repeating and all that jazz, I just don't want to see that. But like I said, if they do it, they do it. More power to them. But what a great story it would be for Peyton Manning to ride off in the sunset like that, getting to the Super Bowl and or winning the Super Bowl, which is going to be tough. I think Carolina, man, is on a mission. It just looks like something is on their side this year. They're playing great football. So we'll see. But hey, once again, for you Steelers fans, proud of the team, man. I couldn't ask for more based on the circumstances, injuries, and all of that jazz. Hey, we almost pulled off something very special. And you look back earlier in the season, some of those games that we had the opportunity to win, the Steelers could have possibly been a 12-14, possibly a 13-3. Who knows? And you look at that, just 2 more wins. If I'm not mistaken, 2 more wins on the season would have put us at 12-4, and I believe we would have been the number 1 seed at that point. I believe. I'm not sure. I think New England might have still beat us, as far as outright record. I can't remember what New England finished as. I don't remember their record, but they may have still owned us because of the tiebreaker, and they beat us head to head. But we would have at least been the 2nd seed, the number 2 seed, and that would have meant a bye for us, a home playoff game. Could have been interesting, but it is what it is, guys. Again, great season, and we'll see what's going to happen next year. And I'm definitely interested in seeing the AFC Championship as well as the NFC Championship, and see who's going to make it to the big dance. So definitely, guys, thanks for tuning in. All of you guys that watch the game, tonight, definitely leave your thoughts, leave your comments, or what have you. And like I said, I will bring a final recap to the season and my thoughts looking ahead this coming Tuesday on Terrible Towel Tuesday. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Like always, Let me know what you think. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. Peace. Once again, guys, thanks for coming by. And if you want to interact with me live, head on over to Sim Standard Radio every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, along with Smitty and Azure Effect. The call-in number for the show is down in the description. Now, of course, for more content, go ahead and click the link above. And before you go, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. All right, guys. Until next time, lights out.